Welcome to Knife Cats. Here's what I carried today and what I'm going to carry tomorrow.
So this is the knife I said I was going to be carrying, and I did carry it. This is a little Congress Whittler by Rough Rider. I cannot remember the number for it. I'll try and get it and put it in here. Really nice strawberry bone jigging on there. You see the Rough Rider horseshoe shield there. If you notice closely, the shield is a little crooked. And this is an early one. You see there the Rough Rider signature there. And this knife I actually carried for quite some time, a long time ago. When I got this knife, I actually carried it for quite a while. And I actually lost it. It was one of those kind of things. It's like, I lost it and it's like, all right, now where did I lose it? And it's like, all I did was I went from point A to point B in the car. I made 2 stops and then I came back home. And I actually went out. This is like, I think it was like a $12, $15 knife. It wasn't an expensive knife. But I got it back in the car, checked all through the car to see if I dropped it in the car, didn't see it. And then I drove back over where I was, every place I got out, and looked to see if I dropped it on the ground and if it was there, and could not find it anywhere. And then got back in the car, came all the way home, sat in the car, and it's like, all right, now where could I have been? And it's like, okay, where's it? And I started feeling in my pocket, and then I felt down right where I would have been sitting in the car, and the knife was right where I dropped it. So, wasted a good half hour looking for the knife when it was where I should have seen it the first time I looked. But in any case, that was and after that, it's like, you know what, I like this knife too much. I don't want to lose it again, so I stopped carrying it. So I'm glad I put it back in my pocket today. It was fun to carry. It is a nice little knife. One of the things I noticed with it right away, though, was that it was a little snug. The blade was not opening as smoothly as it should. And so I was at work when I really noticed it, and it's like, I need to oil this thing. And started looking around. I didn't have any actual good knife oil on me, but I did have a can of spray lubricant at work that we use on like the shredder and stuff. And it's like, I'll just squirt some of that on this, and it did a good enough job. Looked at it, and it's some kind of canola oil. Anyway, if you notice the back springs here, notice they are kind of tapered, so you do have a wider bottom here. So it's a different kind of split back. It's tapered. It's tapered so that the back is wider, so you have space for the main sheep foot that is dropping down between there, and then you got the 2 blades on the side. And that's what I liked about it, this little sheep foot Whittler that you got going on here on a Congress frame. And it feels really good in the hand. It's really a great box cutter. And what I did when I got this knife, originally it had 2 blades down at the bottom here, has a pen blade on this side, and originally it had a pen blade on this side too, but I actually cut off the tip here and then filed it down a bit so that it would not be too sharp, and turned it into basically a coping blade instead of having 2 pen blades on it. And I really did like that modification. And one of the things I noticed once I did that, I wish I would have did the coping blade on this side, because what happens every time you go to open this, the blade pushes into the main blade and it gets caught right into the match strike pull. Fortunately, it doesn't leave any kind of markings or anything, but it's a definite, you can kind of feel it up there, but you don't see it on the blade too much. Well, I guess you do see it a little bit, but it doesn't matter because this was a user. I really liked using this knife. Might have to start carrying it a little more often, or at least put it out where I will use it more often. All in all, a really gorgeous little knife, and not a big knife at all either. And I used it for a couple different things today, but the one thing I ended up having to do mostly was getting it sharp again, because it was pretty dull. 3/8 of an inch is long closed, and this main blade comes in right at 2 1/4 overall, with a cutting edge right at 2 inches. So a nice little pocket knife. It doesn't take up any room in the pocket, and you can lose it easily if you're not paying attention. So, and I know that from experience, but you can also find it if you're lucky. Anyway, really nice little pocket knife. I really enjoyed carrying it again. Did a little bit of cutting, sharpened a couple pencils with it. I've got a pencil sharpener in my office, but I'm starting to enjoy just taking these knives to work and sharpening a pencil with it to see how well it works. The other thing I did, though, is because the blades were dull, it's like I really need to sharpen this up a little bit. So I sharpened it a little bit at work while in a meeting, and I used the coffee cup to get a better edge on the knife. It wasn't really dull, but it wasn't as sharp as I wanted it to be. So I used the old coffee cup to sharpen the blades up and hone it down a little bit. So that's what this knife did today. Now, by the time you see this video, it's going to be Friday. Friday, I am off of work. Saturday is the weekend. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually carry these two knives, and I'll talk about them in a little bit in the next video. Both of these are take-apart hobo kind of knives. This one is by K-Bar, and I think you can still get this one. It's got the fork here, a knife blade, a locking knife blade, by the way, and then a spoon. This hobo knife is a little bit different. It has a can opener and a cap lifter here. See, this one is by Colonial. It's called a Picnic Pal. The center is a main blade, a nice little Spearmaster blade, and then on this side we have a fork. There's no spoon. And so I'm actually going to see what I can do with these knives this weekend. You know, try and eat some food with it or something. See how well they work. As I said, these are take-apart knives, so that's part of what we'll be talking about with them as well. But that will be in the next video. So talk to you again soon. Stick around for some slides and a little bit of the sharpening on this knife.
Thanks for visiting Knife Chats with Tobias. I hope you enjoyed this quick look at what I was carrying today and what I'm going to carry tomorrow. I'd also love to know what you carry today, so leave a comment below. And if you like what you saw, please give it a thumbs up and go ahead and smash that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode of Knife Chats with Tobias is up and online.